Borderline personality disorder. This video is going to be talking about subject matters that are dark and not for children. We're going to be covering death, suicide, a lot on suicide, very graphically. This is your warning. It's gonna get balls out from here on in.
Oh my God!
I'd never asked the question of, what the fuck am I? I'd always known what the fuck I was. For me, I'd always kicked around the idea of killing myself. It was always a backup plan, but it wasn't something that I really took too seriously. That all changed October 17, 2015. Mr. BPD, what led to this moment of deciding that you were going to kill yourself? Well, lots of things.
I have 8 different bosses right now.
I beg your pardon?
8 bosses.
8?
8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it.
I was in a relationship. It was the first kind of serious relationship I'd been in since Amanda. I had a single guy thing where I was banging chicks every night and just playing a bachelor. Really what it was about a 5 to 6 year gap where I didn't interact with women at all. And it just happened that one night, out of the blue, dropping somebody off at his house, I end up running into this chick that decides she wants to chase me down and wants to do things with me and become my girlfriend.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
This is not the type of girl that I would typically ever date. About a year in or so, I started getting attached more than I should. For some reason, I felt very safe in dating this girl because I figured that there wasn't a lot out there for her. Like, I was under the belief that I was the best that she was going to get. When I came home one day and she was moving out and some dude was helping her, I was like, 3 years, we're done? What? I didn't even know we were like having issues. Bye, and there she goes.
It's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
When me and this girl started dating, pretty much I was living a great bachelor life. I was living with my best friend in the entire world. We partied every night and it was awesome, and we've been doing that for 6 years or something. And this girl comes into the picture. A year later, I'm moving away from my best friend because now he's my hated enemy. I believe that he is a controlling, manipulating, narcissistic piece of shit. He got to find out as I was loading up my shit. Down the road I went.
It's gone.
I wouldn't go out with my friends because I was always at home with her, but she could still go out with her friends and do whatever. She had plenty of friends, I had none. Now, I'm not blaming her for this. I let this happen. I allowed it to happen. I had stopped using drugs completely, 100% completely stone cold sober. With Amanda, I did everything wrong and I lost her and I'll never get her back, and that's something I can't change. And it's this wound that doesn't heal. It's always hemorrhaging. No matter how many bandages I put on it, I can't get the fucker to stop bleeding. With this new girl, I figured I was going to do everything the right way, which I did. Treated her better than I've treated anybody. Keep in mind, this is the individual that is not normally what I would date. Just to have her leave me destroyed my core belief. I could not process it. It didn't compute. There was my brain couldn't come up with anything that could trick me into believing something. All the walls came tumbling down and I saw reality for what it was. Or it's hard to explain. All the walls came tumbling down and I saw reality for what it was. All the walls came tumbling down and I saw reality for what it was.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
Destroyed my core belief. She went to my boss and told him about the drugs and all of this. My brain couldn't come up with anything. I'd go to work completely fucked up and not even hiding it.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
Fired. I had not yet been fired, but it was coming. Destroyed my core belief. Doing more drugs than I'd done before, drinking more than I'd drank before.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
She went to my boss and told him about the drugs and all of this. Destroyed my core belief. I was under the belief that I was the best that she was going to get. All the walls came tumbling down and I saw reality for what it was. Destroyed my core belief. She realized how insane I was becoming. Smoked a bunch of meth and was on my 6th beer of the day, and it was 8 a.m.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
And I was back on all the drugs. It's like I never even stopped. I was doing more drugs than I'd done before, drinking more than I'd drank before. Destroyed my core belief. I'd never stopped, and in fact I was like, I'd hyped it up.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
Smoked a bunch of meth and was on my 6th beer of the day, and it was 8 a.m. I got a phone call on my day off telling me I had to go do a drug test.
I bet all the girls wanna fuck you.
All the walls came tumbling down and I saw reality for what it was. And this actually did not happen at that point in time. This was later. Never mind. Getting back to October 17th, 2015. Friends, we're trying the friends thing. That day, she'd shown up and just wanted a booty call. And of course I was down with that, but in my brain I thought that meant we were going to get back together or something, right? But afterwards, she's just like, all right, well, I'll see you later. And it's like, she didn't want to talk about the relationship at all. She's like, no, this didn't change a thing. It was just a booty call. She's like, I thought I was doing you a favor. She said it not quite like that, not as degrading as that, but it kind of felt like that. Like, kind of felt bad for breaking up with you, so I thought I'd let you have another. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't what I thought it was, or at all. After she left, I started sending her all these text messages. Eventually, that led to her telling me that, she no longer wanted to talk to me. I was coming on too strong. I was being stalkerish. It was best that we just never talk again, and that this would be the last time that she texted or talked to me. That really sent me over the edge, and I kept texting her and texting her and texting her, and she did not ever respond to any. She did what she said. She said she would never talk or text me again, and we have not talked or texted since that. So I'm like, all right, fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you, bitch. You broke my heart. Fuck your friends, tearing us apart. Fuck your dog. Hope he never comes home. Fuck you, bitch. Hope you wind up alone.
I was in a bad spot. I also owned a shotgun. I'm left with absolutely nothing. I'm back on the drugs. I got a shotgun, and I can just blow my fucking brains out. one thing is she would always know that it was her fault. Because had she texted me, I might not have done it. I wouldn't have done it, actually. Now, there are going to be some people that say that I am in control of my own actions and that she did not make me kill myself, or would not have been the cause of me killing myself. I beg to differ, being the individual that had my world shattered like that. I know it would have been her fault, because it wouldn't have happened if she'd never been in my life. She was at least a factor. It might not have been her fault, but she got the dominoes falling. Hell, she was the domino that started the whole cascade. In the comments section, what you think about that? Can somebody actually lead to the events of your suicide? Like, could they have stepped in? I think so. Had she texted me, I wouldn't have wanted to blow my head off, but here I am loading the shotgun. I was sitting in my favorite chair. I had the shotgun in my mouth. I had my toe on the trigger. And I was squeezing that trigger with my toe. It's like a movie. I swear to God, it was like a movie. I mean, it didn't make me not want to kill myself, but at the same time, it made me have to know who was at the fucking door. So maybe it did snap me out of it. It was just weird. How does the universe or the cosmos or whatever time something that precisely perfect to fuck up my plan? A second later and it would have been done. It was close. To see who the fuck is interrupting me at a moment like this. Toss the shotgun onto the couch, open the door, and who is it? But my buddy that I hadn't talked to in 2 years, the guy that I'd moved out on. Yeah, we're gonna go do some drugs and party. And I'm like, well, I had other plans, but sure. And then I went and did drugs and party, and that led to that story I was telling her later, or earlier, maybe. Point being, I didn't kill myself. But I did. In my mind, I pulled that trigger. I should have pulled that trigger. I missed a great opportunity. I will never have another opportunity to kill myself that was as great as that one. Everything was in place. And it would have been a tragic end to my story. Like, that's the way that I wanted my story to end. I had finally started to be the person that everybody thought I could be, only to have this bitch leave, and then I blow my brains out. Perfect. That would have been great. Now how's my story going to end, huh? Die of cancer or have a heart attack or something lame like that? Fuck that. That's not the way I want to go down. I could have already just had my brain splattered all over my apartment. I'm not much of a believer in maybe God or the Sky Father, but I do believe that there's some kind of something to everything. Don't know what the hell it is. Don't know what to call it. I don't pray to it or anything, but I do occasionally stop and take notice, especially if there's a doorbell right at the moment I'm going to kill myself. It makes me pause. I shouldn't have paused. Anyway, that was the day that Jeremy Green died. I pulled that trigger. And, sometimes I wonder if I'm not still in that chair. Like, if that hadn't actually happened, if I'm imagining that happened. How did this guy just show up at the right time? Makes no sense. Let's say I live the next 30 years and die of cancer. And as I die of cancer, then suddenly I'm back in the chair with the